Right then, time to build myself a Fellgor herd goad, which is one of the special ones of the Fellgor Ravagers, which means that I start off on this sprue here, but in order to get his kind of whip here and his head, I have to go across to the B sprue. So I'm finding these Fellgors so easy to build as well. I've just known some of these kits to be so difficult. These kind of go together quite easily, which of course I'm very pleased about. So we need to get out parts 17 and 18. And oh my goodness, I seem to be I've got the shakes. I've been rather foolish today. I've done far too much gardening this morning, and now I'm suffering with it. And I've still got to somehow put a load of painting in before the end of the week. I think sometimes I just make myself suffer for no good reason. Anyway, enough of my terrible life. Right, so it's always a good idea to do a dry fit on these, just to make sure that you're getting them together right, to make sure they've been cleaned properly, because right there I can see I've not cleaned that out properly. Yeah, there we go. Does just seem to be a bit of a jagged join. I've got to ask myself, you know, like the way that the sculptor has got to sculpt this as it is. So someone's got to sit down and make like the model, you know, in probably some really expensive software, proper decent CAD software. And after they've made it, someone with incredibly high, oh, let me just get out number 19 here, spatial awareness and an understanding of moulding processes, has then got to sit down and say, right, how can we split this apart so that we can turn it into a mould? Now, I'm new to the 3D printing side of things. I have good experience of Blender, so admittedly, you know, I'm not pretending to be the greatest person at Blender in the whole wide world. There are some amazing people on YouTube, but I know enough to teach it as a subject. One of my flaws is that because I don't spend enough time in it, sometimes I do things the least efficient way, and then people with more skill than I kind of come along and go, hey, actually you could have just pressed this set of keys and got the same result. And then I sit there going, yeah, okay. But part of the reason I actually put Blender videos out there is as tutorials for my students, but also because it's great to have people turn around to me and saying, why are you doing it that way? And then I'll learn a better way of doing things. I think there's a rule of the internet that basically says, if you want to learn how to do something on the internet, do it wrong. And everyone will swarm in and say, look, no, actually, this is a better way. Now, I don't mind that. Let's get number 20 out, because, you know, that is how you learn. So I put the way that I've found to do it out there. People turn around and say, actually, no, that's... You're making life hard for yourself. You're making work for yourself doing it that way. Come on then. Right, what are we up to here? anyway, so when I think about how to make a moldable model, not a 3D printable model, it's a different process completely. Creating a cast, you have to have, you can get far better detail using a cast. I mean, if I show you a 3D printed base of mine, if I showed you the 3D model, I would hope you would think the 3D model is far superior to what I've got, whereas my printer is like this basically. It's not great. That there is actually a skull, but unfortunately I'm never going to be able to get the detail on a cheap printer. Right, I need number 1 out of this bee sprue now. So this is one of the things I really like about Kill Team, is when you get a bee sprue like this, because you know that what's probably going to happen in the future is that they're going to release a non-Kill Team version of this kit, where you just basically build it with standard weaponry. Anyway, so yeah, I do hope, I'd love to be able to actually go into high quality 3D printing. Yeah, maybe a £2,000 industrial 3D printer, something that really, can be monetized. But for now, I can live with what I've got. And I think the main thing is it's about learning what can be printed and what can't be. But yeah, I mean, I just kept thinking to myself, who are the people responsible basically for taking a 3D model on something like Maya, which is probably one of the, that's AutoCAD's 3D modeling software. And then basically trying to break it apart so that it can be cast and molded properly. Maybe one day I'll be able to see how that's done for real. Gosh, this is a hard one to clean up, because there's the mold lines, and then right where the mold lines are, there's like the little studs on the mask. Just trying to make sure that I clean it up adequately and don't leave any bits like there. Okay, there we go. See, I find these such an easy build. Really are such an easy build, these guys. Right, I'm going to put it on one of my custom bases. I know they're not the greatest bases in the world, but I like the idea of having at least my pre-textured bases. Okay, so that's going to take a while to dry because it's plastic on resin. give it a chance to settle, but other than that, that is our Fellgor herd goad, all nicely built. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.